Why do you care about Buffalo? Because Buffalo and the Bills isn't just Buffalo and the Bills. It's every single city in this state and how we finance or don't finance our infrastructure, our stadiums, all of those things. So you say, well, Larry, aren't you happy that we have the Bills? And for those who don't know, we've just made a deal with the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills now are going to stay in Buffalo for about 30 years now. And that's supposed to be a good thing. Am I against Buffalo Bills being here? No. 30 years is a good thing. And it's going to cost us to build this new stadium $1.4 billion, I believe that's correct. And out of that $1.4 billion, out of that, about a little more than half, about 850 is going to come from the state. You're going to pay for it. You might say, well, what if I don't live in that area? Well, you won't pay for all of it, right? About 600 million comes from us, me and you. There's less than 20 million New Yorkers. What's that? 30 bucks a head? Is my math right? Give or take 35 bucks a head. And 250 million comes out of Erie County. You might say, well, Larry, is that bad? Compared to other stadiums, actually not that bad. There are lots of other cities that pay a higher percentage. It's true. 60, 70, 80% does happen. I have a crazy question, though. Why are we paying at all? I'm very serious. Why are we paying at all? Why in the world would I, as a mayor, as a county executive, as a governor, when what I have in the case of Buffalo and in many other situations, but in the case of Buffalo, I have a metro area of about 1 million people. That's a decent sized metro area. New York City obviously is a whole lot more, but Buffalo, decent, about 1.2 million, something like that, metro area, about 300,000 in the city itself, surrounding areas over 1 million. That's not a bad metro area. I got that for you. But I have something else. I have a Western New York that loves the Bills. And if you're in Western New York, you know what I'm talking about. I have a Western New York that will look at the Bills as a part of Western New York culture, to a point where in certain parts of the year, if you're walking around Western New York, you say hello by saying "Go Bills." That's the greeting. That's what I got. So I have all of that. I have so much Bills merch all over the state, particularly all over Western New York. Flags and shirts and hats, you name it. Bumper stickers, car flags, all over. That's just tons of money. That's merch you're going to make. I got all of that to give to you. And I'm going to pay you for it. I am blown away by that. I have all of this to give you, Buffalo Bills. And you're like, great. You need to buy me a stadium now. What else must I do for you? Let me give you more. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Are you saying, Larry, you would have played hardball? Yes and no. I would have played hardball. Of course I would have. But I would have also gotten other people to understand why and try to follow my lead. If I'm the only city doing it, it's going to be a problem. We've already lost the Jets and the Giants. I mean, if officially they're New York, officially, but they play in Jersey because they were bribed effectively by Jersey. This is the thing we do. We have to stop bribing these people to show up. It doesn't work. We bribed the Giants and the Jets for decades to be in New York City. Eventually, we couldn't bribe them enough, so they left. But they liked the metro area, so they stayed in it. What did I tell you? They liked the metro area. They liked being called New York. So they didn't change their name. And they keep the metro area. But they're not in the state anymore. Because everything I said was true. And in New York City, It's a 16 million person metro area with merch and all the goodies that we just talked about. So they wanted to keep all of that, but they moved. I would ask you, Buffalo Bills, if you don't go to Buffalo, where are you going to go? I guess where you're bribed more, I guess. But this is how we do business. Now, if you're a business person, you might say to yourself, Larry, what are people just stupid? Are our government people just dumb? No, this is not stupidity. It's not stupidity at all. It's actually very smart for them. You might go, wait a minute, Larry, they're throwing away $850 million taxpayer dollars. They're paying an organization and giving them all these things. Clearly that's dumb. It's not. It's brilliant. The reason why they want to use taxpayer dollars and bribe these people is because they want to be the ones to hand out the jobs. That's the issue. The politicians, is it Poloncarz? He's the county executive, and Hochul, our Lord and Master, our queen. They don't care, excuse me, about your taxpayer dollars. They want to be the ones to hand out the jobs. See, I'm bringing jobs to New York. See, I'm bringing union jobs to New York. Not that I'm against union jobs. Union jobs are fine. But they have to be responsible for them. This is a way of them getting a win and saying they couldn't have got it without it. They couldn't have got it without us. They would have walked away. That's why. That's the reason why they want to spend all that money, so they can say, I brought the jobs. And the way they're spinning this to make it sound like it's a win is they got the Bills to stay for 30 years. Why is that a good thing? I'm serious. In today's world, why in the world would you create a 30-year lease? In today's world, football might be useless in 15 years, right? Maybe. I have no idea. It might be as popular than ever, but it might not exist in 20 years. I don't know that. In today's world, it might be worth a whole lot more or a whole lot less. Maybe no one's watching it in 20 years. I don't know. Why in the world would I do a 30-year lease? It seems insane to me. What if the stadium shouldn't last 30 years? In today's world, you might have to build the new stadium every 15 years with technology. So now I got a 30-year lease or whatever the case may be, and I got to rebuild another stadium in 15 years? I don't know. How long is it going to take? This was a bad idea. 30 years is not a good idea. Good for them, right? So now they're happy. Not good for us. It's almost as if they're negotiating for the Bills and not for us. Do you know why? Because they're negotiating for the Bills and not for us. That's the reason why it feels that way, because it's true. There is no way in a business world this kind of deal would ever happen. The way it should work is, hey, Buffalo Bills, I have a cool city. Your name's on it. Your logo is a buffalo. What are you going to give me? We don't do that. We do the reverse, right? We do the reverse. How terrible is that? It's Larry Sharp on A Free Solution. WYSL, Rochester, New York. WACK, Newark, New York. 585-346-3000. Back after the break.
Your business relies on computers and technology to
Yeah, Larry, what happened was you never connected, so I started playing a backup show on the automation. So when you connected, I potted that down at the end of the intro. That's why the music cut. No problem. Nope.
Up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly.
No problem, no problem. And I shot you a text at noon, like, are you going to connect? By the way, so the existing stadium was built in 73 for $22 million, which correlates to $128 million in today's dollars, roughly, or maybe 2020. I think it was 2020 I read somewhere. But you know what? So that stadium is almost 50 years old. I bet money, like you say, what you build today may not be here 30 years. I agree. I mean, what they made back then was built so much better. So all that aside, you know, I mean, they've done so many improvements at that stadium. Last time I was there a couple of years ago, it was a great experience. I don't know. Have you been to that stadium? And it was state of the art back in 73. It was the largest in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken, at that time.
His only client, because when you meet with him, your case gets 100% of his attention. So instead of cute singing jingles and magic phone numbers.
Well, and then my other fear is, so they say the Bills will stay in. Well, what if all of a sudden the NFL deems, all right, the Bills are going to change to this name. Oh, they're no longer the Bills. This is null and void. We're moving.
No dummy. Get individual attention and expertise.
Yeah, or what if for some reason the Bills start sucking and get into bankruptcy?
Tried sober. Christopher Johnson, attorney, personal injury, car or motorcycle accidents, DWI defense.
As a veteran of the United States military, I can finally get the opportunity to enjoy special events, things that we couldn't afford, thanks to VetTix. Every empty seat at a concert, a game, or a play is a missed opportunity to say thanks to a veteran and service member. We can give our veterans a special event where they too can create their own cherished memories. Visit vettix.org. Find out how you can make a difference in a veteran's life.
With disastrous leadership in Washington, corporate media that's a captive of government, and increasing censorship of the news, it's important to preserve freedom of speech and truth, whether it's related to endless COVID mandates, Albany corruption, or city violence. Try something different in 2022. Utilize the WYSL stations to advertise and grow your business. Take advantage of our huge audience, entertained and informed by great conservative programming. Affordable and effective. The WYSL stations, the voice of liberty. Call 346-3000 to advertise.
A free solution.
Yes, Larry Sharp. I have made it. I am here. WYSL, Rochester, New York, WACK, Newark, New York, 585-346-3000. And if you like what I am saying, let people know. Like and comment and share and tell people. You can also watch this show every single day. It's on noon every day. Just follow us, A Free Solution, on Facebook or YouTube. Before the break, I was talking about the Buffalo Bills and the stadium that we have here. You might say, well, Larry, $1.4 billion. How in the world are they going to, buy a stadium like this if we don't pay them, right? How are we going to do that? We have to pay them, or they can't build these state-of-the-art, facilities. I get your worry. I do. Something to think about. The NFL makes so much money that they are no longer a nonprofit. No longer a nonprofit. Yeah. The only one that is, I think, either nonprofit or maybe has a special system is the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packer was actually, I don't know if it's still true, but they were owned by the people of Green Bay. That may still be true. But I remember they're a special situation within the NFL. Other than that, these are basically just a bunch of private companies making tons of money. That's what they do. They make billions of dollars. So they can't finance a stadium? The Buffalo Bills, just the Buffalo Bills, are worth over $2 billion. $2 billion. The value of the team is over $2 billion. You're telling me that they can't finance it? I'll go one step further. The guy or gal who owns a sports team, that person's a billionaire. Or you can't afford a $2 billion team by default. So then, even if the team itself, for some reason, can't finance a stadium, I don't know why it couldn't, the NFL could assist, which is worth another couple $1 billion, whatever the hell that's worth. Probably several billion, right? If just the Buffalo Bills are worth $2 billion, who knows what the NFL's worth? I'm sure someone will tell me. But they're worth a ton of money. And if the NFL can't do it, the owner is a billionaire. So you're telling me, of these three entities, none of them can finance a stadium? None of them can? Of course they can. Of course they can. They don't want to. Why should they? Why should I use my money when I can use yours? I'd rather use your money then. And I'll use your money so I can make more money. Why would I be mad at the Buffalo Bills? I would do it too. So would you. If I said, here's my money, go make money. You're going to say, thank you, Larry. I don't know why you're doing it, but I'll take that. No one's saying no to that. So why would they? They won't. They'll say yes. And it's happening all over. It's happening throughout all of the cities in this nation. We are doing what we always do, bribing people to come to our city. I've been talking about this for 6 years. Stop bribing businesses. Stop bribing companies to come to your state, to come to your city. Instead, make a better environment to where they'd be fools to not come. That's the smart move. Make an environment to where they'd be fools to not come. Then maybe there's a bidding war and you could make some money. Imagine that. If you could actually make cash from a stadium coming into your town, you could make money on it. Not a bad deal. I like the idea of not having a public private combo. That's a terrible idea. It becomes a disaster. Who owns what? Now there's problems, bureaucracy. There's only two ways this should work. Way number one, the Buffalo Bills and or the NFL build a stadium on land that we lease to them. And the city and or the state and or the county gets a yearly revenue from that. And perhaps, like the malls do, some of you may not know this, but if you get a kiosk, in a mall, you're basically renting out an area in the mall. I want my kiosk to be here in the mall. For those of you who still go to malls, if any of you do. And what would happen is they charge you a flat fee, whatever, X $100 per week or month or whatever deal you make, and a percentage of your revenue. Why can't we do that? Hey, Buffalo Bills, take the land, take the area, got it. Here's your leasing agreement. You owe Erie County X dollars, Buffalo City Y dollars, and New York State Z dollars to keep these, this land for X number of years. And the price goes up X percentage, Y percentage over the course of X number of years. Oh, good. Do that. And we want 2% of all your revenue. Or we'll just take the revenue on taxes. Still good. Whatever. It's a win-win-win. Whatever. Make that deal. If the Buffalo Bills are bad, well, then we don't make as much money because we don't make a cut of the revenue. It encourages us to support the Buffalo Bills. Right now, as governor, as mayor, as a county executive, I'm happy to yell, "Go Bills," because they're making money. We're making money. We've just aligned our goals. And that's what savvy business people do. They align goals so that you and I are on the same page. We want to move the same way forward. Everybody wins. Now we know who owns, who rents, who has to fix, who has to repair. If the Buffalo Bills decide, I don't want to be here anymore, I'm going to leave. They break our contract. They pay a fee to break our contract. Bring another person in. Another team can come in because we own the land. They were nice enough to put a stadium on our land. So now we'll rent the stadium out to somebody else. That's how things should work. They don't. Why? Because politicians aren't business people. What politicians care about is patronage. Can they keep their people happy by handing out jobs. And I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Clearly, I am not a fan of our governor, Her Majesty Queen Kathy. Obviously, I'm not a fan. However, there's a big however here. I will give her credit. When it comes to creating patronage, when it comes to giving out jobs, she is amazing. Amazing. Any problem New York State has, she creates an office and then gives her friends jobs. Brilliant. Brilliant. How are you going to vote against the person who gave you a job? How are you going to not jump up and down and talk about that person who's giving you a job? So in that regard, not financially, but politically, she is aligning those goals because those positions are appointed. So if Hochul loses power, they lose their jobs. They are all about Hochul, aren't they? All about Hochul. Of course, you're paying your bills off her. Again, you'd be the same way, wouldn't you? If you're paying your bills because of the job she's got you guaranteed, all of a sudden it's Hochul 2022, isn't it? Of course it is. It's a brilliant way of doing things. And then all of these big jobs like this, building a new bridge, building a new tunnel, any new infrastructure at all, stadiums, they use these as ways to show how good they are. If you heard Polonkrantz talk, or Polonkars, is that his name? I'm going to pronounce it wrong. I apologize. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. To Hochul, I kind of am. But to him, I'm not. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm trying to just get his name right. To him, he's talking like he just won the lottery. We negotiated hard. Like, I believe that. Stop. For the Bills, maybe. Not for New York State. We negotiated hard to make sure that they stayed for 30 years and whatever. They don't care. What happens 10 years from now, 5 years from now? The Buffalo Bills say, yeah, Buffalo's not doing it for us. Houston is giving us a better deal, or Pittsburgh is giving us a better deal, whatever. And we're going to pack up and we're going to move. We're going to move to Pittsburgh or Philadelphia, whatever. Insert city here. We're going to go there. What are we going to do? Sue them? I guess we could. New York State's going to sue the NFL? When New York State's going to be trying to get another NFL team into New York State. We're going to sue the NFL? We're not. We're going to take it on the chin and beg for another team to come. You and I both know that. That's what's going to happen. We will take it on the chin and beg for another team to come back, and we'll bribe them even more. Why? It's not their money. It's your money. So they'll bribe another team to come in. Yeah, we'll do a 30-year deal. This time, trust us. Trust us. What happens if the Bills just decide people don't want to watch them anymore? Either way, this contract is a joke. It's a bad idea. It's not going to help us at all. Am I wrong? Am I right? Tell me. 585-346-3000. Larry Sharp of Free Solution, WYSL. Back with your calls and your comments in the chat after the break.
Celebrating 35 years.
WYSL.
AM 1040 Avon Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, and FM 95.5 Spencerport.
Here's the News 10 NBC forecast on WYSL. For tonight, we'll see increasing clouds, likely with a low temperature of 20 degrees. And for Wednesday, stay on the chilly side for the majority of the day before a warm front lifts through in the afternoon, warming us up into the low 40s by the evening hours. As that warm front swings through, rain or snow shower will be possible as well. Temperatures will warm up through Wednesday night, and by Thursday morning, we'll see temperature near 50 degrees. Wednesday night, an isolated rain shower is possible. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Alex Bielfeld on your WYSL stations.
Hello, WYSL listeners. This is Vinny Dallo, financial advisor with Capin Financial. Since it's tax season, many of you are focusing on your personal financial situation. Well, let me ask you, how's it going? Are your finances where you want them to be? Do you wish you knew how to make improvements, how to be more tax efficient, or how to even just get ahead? Hey, there's no need to wish. Just listen to my show. At Cap'n Financial, our process begins with educating our clients on all areas of financial planning. Listen to Money Talks. You'll hear us discuss retirement, investments, insurance, and helpful financial strategies. So be sure to tune in to Money Talks on the second and fourth Tuesday each month at 6:30 p.m.
Vinny Dallo is a financial advisor offering investment advisory and services through Eagle Strategies LLC, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA SIPC, Cap'n Financial, its employees, nor Nylife Securities LLC or its representatives or affiliates provide tax, legal, and accounting advice. Please consult your own tax, legal, or accounting professional before making any decisions. The show is provided for informational purposes only.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovations should be your first call. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
With disastrous leadership in Washington, corporate media that's a captive of government, and increasing censorship of the news, it's important to preserve freedom of speech and truth, whether it's related to endless COVID mandates, Albany corruption, or city violence. Try something different in 2022. Utilize the WYSL stations to advertise and grow your business. Take advantage of our huge audience, entertained and informed by great conservative programming. Affordable and effective. The WYSL stations, the voice of liberty. Call 346-3000 to advertise.
At the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry, we know the best thing you'll ever wear is your smile.
Now you can smile again. Have a beautiful smile again.
From whitening and porcelain veneers to invisible braces, look your best with the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry at Grease Ridge Center. And with sedation dentistry, you don't have to be afraid.
Change your life. Change your smile.
The Center for Cosmetic Dentistry. Call 22-SMILE.
We're all busy, running to get the kids to practice, rushing to get dinner on the table, hurrying to meetings, the store, or getting to those endless lists of errands. That's why more and more Rochesterians are tuning in to the newscast that fits their schedule. News 10 NBC at 7. Exclusive investigations, up-to-the-minute breaking news, and of course, your first alert forecast. It's how Rochester gets caught up before the sun goes down. News 10 NBC at 7.
Looking for something meaningful to do? As a Camp Good Days volunteer, you'll work with children and adults who will inspire you. Just listen to what one volunteer says about her experience.
It's unlike any other thing that I've ever experienced in my life. I won the lottery.
When we come back, I'm going to play the Bills, one of the Bills' original songs before they went to show.
Volunteer opportunities
Because I think I played it on Kevin's show. It doesn't have any issues with the copyright on YouTube.
Fritz's Patriot Place apparel and merchandise. Stand for the flag, kneel for the cross. Unmasked, unvaccinated, unafraid.
Just let the sing go for like 5 seconds so you hear them say talking proud.
Visit Fritz'sPatriotPlace.com.
This election year, be sure to contact all your lawmakers and demand support for the Constitution and your Second Amendment rights. Learn more. Join Scope. Visit MonroeCountyScope.com.
Let more physical therapy.
A free solution.
Buffalo's got a spirit, talking proud. Listen up and hear it, talking proud.
I like that. Buffalo Bills. That's amazing. Look, I don't want to, in any way, shape, or form, act like football isn't important or sports aren't important. I'm a Yankee fan. I grew up by Yankee Stadium. I love the Yankees. I still wear Yankee caps. I'm in my 50s. I haven't been to the game in 3 years, before COVID. So, yeah, I haven't been to a game probably 3 years. But still, I'm still a Yankee fan. I connected with my childhood. And I'm sure lots of people have their own teams they're connected with. I love it. It doesn't mean I have to use your money for me to go to a Yankee game. That's the biggest piece. I don't need to use your money to go to a Yankee game. Yes, it's Larry Sharp here in WYSL, Rochester, New York, WACK, Newark, New York, the cool Newark, 585-346-3000. So happy that you're here with me on A Free Solution. I do want to grab some of your comments. For those of you who wonder, where does Larry get this chat from? Well, if you just follow A Free Solution on either Facebook or YouTube, you can join the chat if you want to. Up to you. You can do so. So yes, Liberty or Death says, hip-hop hooray for corporate welfare. Taxpayers paying 60% on a $1.5 billion to build a billionaire their stadium. I wish you were wrong. You are right. You are 100% correct. This is corporate welfare. And for those of you who get upset when people on the left say, why can't you give more money to these people? Why can't you pay for my college? Why can't you give me free health care? When they see this, they are kind of have a point. If we're going to throw welfare out, why not to everybody? Or how about let's not just throw welfare out to include corporate welfare? Because every time we throw out corporate welfare, when someone says, well, what about me? They have a point. They have a point. If we can afford to throw $850 million at a stadium, someone's going to say, pay my college debt. Yeah, you kind of have a point. I'm with you. I would like none of that. How about none of that? I know, crazy, right? But yeah. So Paul says, good luck, Larry. You have my vote. I appreciate it. Henry says, LOL, I thought it was a bit weird that MetLife Stadium was so close to a New Jersey highway. Now I know why. Yes. Look, if you're going to create a stadium someplace, whether that's a baseball stadium, football, whatever it is, multi-use stadium, it's got to be in an area that can support it, right? It's got to be either massive parking lots, big highways, or subway systems or bus systems, something. It's got to have that or it can't work. One of the reasons why Yankee Stadium is still in the Bronx, even though it's rarely used outside of baseball, I mean, once in a while, but almost never. And it has Yankees on it. It's not like MetLife or something like that. It's the Yankee Stadium. Is because it's so profitable. The Yankees, for those you don't know, when it comes to baseball, are the most profitable baseball team in the country. Most profitable. So they make tons of money. So they're fine with it. Selling Yankee hats, Yankee tickets for $1 bazillion. I know it costs an arm and a leg to go there. People still do it. They have a subway system, bus system that goes there, and lots of parking lots in the area. They're staying. So they don't necessarily have to worry about that. Now, not every team can do that. But an NFL team, they could. If we make the area positive enough, they will come. And if they don't, another team will come, and that team will regret it, and will bring more in. Aaron says, the Green Bay Packers are publicly owned. Yeah, I thought that was true, Aaron. Thank you for that. They sell stock to fund projects like stadiums. The stock is actually worthless, can't be sold and pay some profits, but people still pay for it. Oh, I didn't know that. Look at that. He then continues, the most recent stock sale raised $65 million entirely voluntarily. I like that. That's nice. I hope that's good. Jeremy goes, public-private always entices corruption. Yes. Yes. Jeremy, I cannot tell you how true that is. If you actually, because here's the worst part. Let's assume for a minute that this stadium is supposed to take, I don't know, a year to build. I don't know how long it's going to be, or supposed to be. Sake of argument, it's a year to build. $1.4 billion. I'll bet anybody, just text me. You want to bet? Let's bet. This is not going to take 1 year or whatever they say. It will be longer and it will be more expensive. And when it's longer and more expensive, who's going to pay for that? Not going to be the Buffalo Bills. It's going to be us. Of course it is. What's the punishment if it goes long? None. Right? None. It's going to be all those cool union jobs, which Kathy Hochul gave. So since she gave them, if it goes long, she will ensure they get the extra money. She'll be their savior, and they'll raise some extra money, or it'll come out of the budget, or whatever it'll be, or they'll do a combo, and we'll pay for 75%, and the NFL will finance 25%. It'll be something just like that, and we'll pay for all the overtime too. Now, am I against workers getting overtime? Of course not. If you work hard, get overtime. No worries. But again, why are we paying for it? Let the NFL pay for it. If they screw it up, then they should pay you overtime. I don't have a problem with that. That's how the market works. Let it work. I go back to, why are we paying for it? Not against union jobs. Why are we paying for it? Build your stadium however you want to build it. Why are we paying for it? Now, I think that if we like the Bills and we want to support the Bills, we can do it, to Aaron's point, voluntarily. You can buy Bills merch because you like the Bills. That supports the Bills. Support your team. I buy Yankee hats still. I have Yankee shirts. I support my team by buying the merch. If you like your team, buy the merch. No worries. Go to the games. Before COVID, I went to Yankee games. I supported my team. Go to the Bills game. No worries. That's voluntarily. You enjoy it. You like it. Go pay. Why is our queen forcing us to pay? And I'm paying too. I'm 7 hours away. I'm paying. Why are you paying for Madison Square Garden? You're 7 hours away. You shouldn't pay for Madison Square Garden. I should pay for that voluntarily. If I want to go watch the Knicks, then I should go pay. No problem. This is all about giving out jobs and patronage. This comes literally from decades and decades of corruption, and we continue it. And we act like it's a good thing. We act like we're winning, like somehow this team is doing us a favor. If I remember, maybe I'm wrong on this, but literally thousands upon thousands upon thousands of New Yorkers and Pennsylvanians and Canadians and even some Ohioans come over and go to those games. Who's doing who a favor? I don't think they're doing us a favor. I'll say it again. In the case of Buffalo, there's a buffalo on your logo. I think you could stay with us. I think you can. And I would ask everybody out there listening, whether you're in Western New York or not, think about how your government is working. Is it negotiating for you, or is it negotiating for the people that are going to help them? Is that who they're negotiating for? I think they're negotiating for them. Michelle says, Jay is yelling hi to you. Hi, Jay. Hope you can hear me. Hope you're still listening. I'll be seeing you soon, I'm sure. Yes. So Robert says, I'm a Yankee fan, but unfortunately, the games get blacked out on our satellite because they consider Rochester part of the Toronto market. Well, that's great, Rob. So you get to pay for the building of the new Yankee Stadium, and you can't watch. That's awesome. You get to pay and not watch. Even better. Oh, my God. Look at that. That's like double win. So they take your tax dollars, pay for stadium, and you can't even watch on TV. And you're paying for satellite, and you still can't watch. And by the way, Yankees get some money for the YES network. So whatever cents or dollars from your fees you pay to satellite, Yankees get that. So you're supporting them a little bit. But that's fine. It's voluntary. But at least let you watch the game. So you're paying from taxes, and you're paying for satellite, and you don't get to watch the game. Crazy. This is where we are. This is where we are. We can change this. It is a societal change, a cultural change, and we've got to see what's happening here. We as the people, I'm doing air quotes, we have a lot of value. We have to show people this. Show the companies this. We want companies to pay more. I think we do. They'll do it if we show them value. Am I crazy? 585-346-3000. Larry Sharp on Off Free Solution. WYSL, Rochester, New York. Back after the break.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to Simple Tech Innovations? Maybe it's
Yeah,
their
so
excellent customer service
yeah,
or
thanks
attention to
MLB.
detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a
I
truly
tune in
customized
the channel and there's
solution. Or
a
perhaps they just
black
like the
screen
fact
saying
that
due to
Simple
local
Tech is a
black
local
or
small
game
business
blackout
that
due
builds great
to
relationships with its
MLB
clients.
rules
Whatever
and
the reason may be,
local
you can rest assured
conflict.
knowing that the local team at Simple Tech has your
Yeah,
best interest in mind
yeah,
when building or updating
yeah,
your
yeah,
website.
or
They're
local
hands-on
blackout
and
rules.
love
But
helping
yeah,
customers
here's the thing:
achieve their
Toronto
goals.
physically
Don't take
is
my
an
word for
hour
it. They've
away,
won the best
but
in
it
Rochester
takes
8 years
3
in a row
hours to
and have
drive
the
there,
town's
longer
Better
going
Business
through
Bureau
customs.
rating.
And
If your website
last I
doesn't
knew,
match your
I
dream
mean,
or isn't achieving
going
your
across the
goals,
border
give
was
the
easier said
professionals
than
at
done
Simple Tech
anyway.
Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense.
3182.
Yeah.
That's 585-200-3182.
So I just don't follow baseball
Simple
anymore.
Tech
I like the
Innovations.
sport, so when I
Dear
want
Dr.
baseball, I
Sussman.
go to
Dear Dr.
Rochester
Sussman,
for
I
the
just wanted
Wings.
to write to all the wonderful people who work with Dr. Sussman and Dr. Pogel at the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Each person in the office made me feel my smile.
Not only am I
wasn't working.
completely happy with my smile, but I feel you've been there for me with all my dentistry
I've had
needs.
several dentists in my life, but never a dentist of your caliber. You have state-of-the-art.
You keep
dental
current in your field as evidenced by your numerous diplomas and certificates, and your entire staff is really the
I'm
cream of the
thrilled with the outcome of your skills and artistry. It's made such a difference in my life.
Dr. Sussman, Dr. Pogel, and the entire staff at the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry take great pride in providing not only advanced dental care, but extraordinary cosmetic dentistry. They love what they do and have a partnership with their patients toward long-term dental health.
For a bright, confident, beautiful smile.
Thank you, Dr. Sussman.
Thank you, Dr. Pogel.
Thank you.
Change your life, change your smile.
For more information, call the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry at 22 Smile or visit 22-smile.com.
There's a place in the village of Avon you and your critters will love. Whether they're big or small, whether they've got hair, fur, or feathers, Avon Feed fits every need. There's a full selection of pet foods, bird feeders, and wild bird food, plus garden tools, quality grass seed, and a great selection of dry shot boots. Buy 10 bags of quality wild bird food, get the next bag free. Choose farm feeds and great equine products from Poland Grains. Find everything for your pet from feeding bowls to toys, leads, collars, beds, crates, and tie-outs. Avon Feed and Supply has what the big pet chain stores will never have: Tim Cole and his great knowledgeable staff. Choose from premium local products like Firefly, dairy, goat soaps, and lotions. While you're at Avon Feed, don't forget your two-legged pets with River Rat.
Yeah, my 2 cents. If I'm paying for this new stadium, they better not black out the bills. Just because there's a blizzard and I don't want to drive there.
Weekdays 9 to 6, Saturday 9 to 4. Avon Feed and Supply. West Main Street at the bottom of the hill, just west of the circle.
A free solution.
Yes, Larry Sharp here on our free solution. Usually, I am the host of The Sharp Way. So if you're going to check that out, please Google The Sharp Way or check out, just Google Larry Sharp. All good. Here today with you on WYSL, Rochester, New York, WACK, Newark, New York, 585-346-3000. Before the break, I was talking about where we're spending our money and how people who want whatever they want have a point when we're throwing money away at corporate welfare, right? They have a point. If some farmer says, why aren't you spending money on my farm? Why aren't you buying my milk? Why aren't you giving me this? Why aren't you helping my veterans? Why aren't you doing this? Well, if we can throw $850 million at a stadium, again, I get why they're saying that. We have to change all of this. The problem is, of course, how do we get politicians to understand that value? More importantly, how do we get corporations, big business, wealthy people to see the value in what we have and then maybe paying voluntarily? It can be done. Liberty or Death continues. Democrat logic is screaming tax the rich while building them a fancy man cave, essentially. It's funny that you say that. You're kind of right? So they're like, tax the rich, and then we'll build them a stadium for billionaires and millionaires. I mean, the players are all millionaires, and the owners are all billionaires. So let's build them a stadium on taxpayer dollars, but then let's tax them. That's a valid point. So now, but again, many of us, we like sports. Not everybody, obviously, but lots of people do. And we would, to Aaron's point, voluntarily support our teams by buying merch and watching the games and buying the stuff they tell us to buy on TV with the commercial and going to the games. We would do it happily because we like it. You don't have to go down this road. You really don't. And if instead we were able to show them that value, it would change. But the other issue, of course, becomes we reward our politicians not by how they solve problems, but we reward our politicians by how they defend us against the other bad guy, right? That's the issue. I don't care if I make my life better, but I'll just make sure the evil Democrat or evil Republican won't get you. I'll get you instead. I'm not going to let the Republicans rob you. I'll rob you instead. I'm not letting Democrats rob you. I'll rob you instead. Not a great option is all I'm saying. Not a great option. So, yes. Michelle says, who sees the tax bill, New York State or Erie County, since the local team? The actual bill, if I remember right, 600 million comes from the state and 250 million comes from Erie County. So it's split. I pretty think I'm pretty sure that's how that connects. So yeah, that should help. By the way, Rob, Brian has an answer for you. Brian says, change the zip code in your satellite receiver settings to one that isn't blacked out. I hope that's true. Thank you for that, Brian. Michael says, New York City elected politicians making these deals. Michael, it's not just New York City. For the case of New York being such a Democratic stronghold, it isn't just New York City. It's all the cities. Buffalo votes blue. Syracuse votes blue. Ithaca votes blue. Rochester votes blue. All the cities. Albany votes blue. The cities vote blue. It isn't just New York City. It is New York City. It's not only New York City. The state itself is 3-1 Democrat to Republican. New York City is 6-1. So it's a lot in New York City. You're right. But it's also every other city too. The cities are controlling the politics here in New York State. And I'm not against cities having different types of politics than rural areas. I'm not. Very often people who live in cities for specific reasons, and they want that kind of lifestyle. Good for them. I live in a city. I know the city. I live in Queens, right? Across the street from my house,
Craig,
is a laundromat, is an accountant, is a dentist, is my deli, and my computer repair shop, and my daughter's martial arts studio. Across the street. I'm not exaggerating. So I have a dentist appointment. I can leave my house 2 minutes before my appointment. I'm good. There is value to living in the city. Some people don't want that. No worries. So how about we do the right thing? We let people be people and counties be counties and cities be cities, and you live how you like. I live how I like. We leave each other alone in that regard. We come visit when we want to hang out and, do cool things, and then we go back home to where we want to live. This is an answer that we could actually fix. This is an answer we could actually use to make New York State a better state. So to your point, Michael, you're right in that cities control politics, but let's allow cities to control city politics, and let's let more rural areas control rural politics. And now we can all be who we want to be. Much better. Let me grab a quick call if I could. I'm going to grab Craig. Craig, how are you, sir?
Not bad. How are you, Larry?
What's going on, my friend?
Oh, just enjoying the coverage of the stadium conversation.
Yes, I know. And you live in the mountains, don't you?
I'd like to live in the mountains. I'm a little south of the mountains, but yes. I definitely don't live near Buffalo, and I definitely don't have the opportunity to go and see a Bills game like every
There we
night.
go. But you're paying for it.
I'm paying for it. So that was my question. If Larry Sharp gets elected in 2022, is he going to bulldoze the new plans for the stadium, or how would you work with that?
That's an issue, right? And as I said, would I play more hardball? Of course. The issue is, can I also shine a light on this issue to stop other cities from doing it too? If I'm the only guy doing it, we're just going to lose all our football, right? So I got to make sure that I get other cities to understand this too. Will their
2
individual
minutes.
mayors and governors want it? No. They will be like, Larry, shut up. They like what they're doing. This works for them. I have to get the people to realize, oh, this is a jobs program. This is a way for them to keep their patronage and hand out money for loyalty. If people get that, politicians will change and we'll have better deals throughout the entire country. It isn't just stadiums. This is in everything.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if there's any eminent domain going on either, because they love to pull that.
100%. That's all the time. And they do it often for things not like the stadium, but for the parking lots. So that's even worse. So they have a stadium and a parking lot. And oh, John Smith, your house is in an area. Guess you're moving. You're moving because the parking lot matters, because I have a jobs program I've got to make sure I'm in charge of and that I get credit for. Yes.
Oh, but we'll pay you fair
1
market
minute.
value, and good luck finding a house in this market and all that
Yes.
stuff.
We'll pay you what we call fair. Yes, I'm doing air quotes, which is maybe somewhere near close to market value from 1905. And you'll hopefully find a house someplace without going broke. Not. I completely agree. Yes.
Good luck. Hope you still love New York.
Absolutely. Thanks, Craig. I appreciate the call, brother.
Thanks. Have a good day.
So, yeah, this is how this works. Remember, when they're negotiating, they're not negotiating for us. They're negotiating for themselves. Everything I'm talking about is a real solution, a free solution, trying to make New York State a better place to live so that you want to be here, and so do companies. Thank you so much for giving me a chunk of your afternoon. I will see you all next week.